The buffer rule is creating another set of tax rules. So, as my opponent stated, that an alternative isn't necessarily the right option. An alternative isn't necessarily like the correct way to go, but creating the buffer rule isn't necessarily a way of going either, because what we need to do is just fix the loopholes that we have right now. That are letting the wealthy pay less income tax instead of like adding another set of rules. So we just need to create a universal set of rules. Because if the buffer rule is implemented, there would be currently like 3 set of rules. One of them would be the minimum tax rule, which started in 1969, which was in order to avoid some of the rich people avoid income tax. This was in order because the government wanted their efforts to go into campaigns, but then what the minimum income tax was supposed to do is just give them a set of tax. So it was a loophole that rich people got around back then. And so the same kind of thing could happen now with the buffer rule. High income taxpayers are getting away with not having to pay certain income tax despite what new laws or rules that may pass that require them to pay. The fair share tax rule is not the right tool for this job. It is bad policy. If it became a law, it would needlessly complicate taxes and create new inequities. Right now, the nation is facing 2 yawning deficits: an investment deficit and a federal budget deficit. The investment deficit includes deferred maintenance on America's infrastructure, and the federal budget deficit is projected to mushroom $45 trillion over the next 10 years. And as we stated before, the buffer rule would raise a trivial sum of $47 billion over the next 10 years, during which the period the federal government would spend $45 trillion. It adds like one more layer to a tax code that is already the most complex, and it wouldn't necessarily make a dent on the deficit that we currently have. The buffer rule sets the bar too low. For most Americans, wages and benefits are declining. Net worth has been plummeting, and the public services they rely on have been disappearing. The buffer rule is bad politics in the long run. While the polls might say that it works, Americans are generally aspirational, not envious. Over the years, voters tend to support a government that focuses on creating opportunity rather than one that tries to reduce inequality. The goal needs to be focused on pro-market, pro-growth, and pro-opportunity.